Hello, welcome all in this initiative called as Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And I hope you can see the screen where we are discussing about, in short, in just 2 minutes, I'll discuss this initiative and then we will delve into today's topic, today's discussion. So this is an initiative to understand sustainability in a better way, sustainability as it is. So understanding it in a holistic perspective, how we can implement this concept at multiple locations with differing time or differing context as well. So let's try to understand that with this 1 hour. And I would like to call this as a mastermind group. And I would not read all these, but it's just for your information. So this group is based on the concept of synergy, where 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. The answer is infinity. There are infinite possibilities of two forces coming together and working for a single aim. And that's what we will try to do. We will try to understand sustainability with the help of each other. So it's a peer-to-peer mentoring group and mentoring support to each other. So what are the outcomes that you can expect from this initiative? First is the learning of one new concept, or at least getting to know different perspectives of that concept. And that's absolutely possible with the kind of diverse group that we have, people from different educational uh, or geographical background. So they come together and they share their ideas. The second is networking with fellow professionals, so who are already working in sustainability, or the students who would like to work into this field. So anyway, we will get some new knowledge, right? New learning. Third is career opportunities. Maybe we will try to get more information on what are the different opportunities in terms of job or in terms of entrepreneurial opportunities as well. And the last one, the fourth, is thought leadership. This is a group, maybe in future we will strive, we will guide the sustainability movement in India. So hopefully, maybe with the support of all, we will be able to do it. So how we are doing it? So every week we are connecting at evening 7 p.m. It's a virtual call for around 60 minutes, and where it's open discussion. We are not restricted to any one way of thinking or any one school of thinking as such. So it's a interdisciplinary. All the views are welcome. Please do share your viewpoints. So that is the thing we follow here. So this is in short a plan, introduction. Then we discuss about the topic, and majorly I would say the major focus of this is discussion part. And why is it so? Because I personally believe that learning happens when we discuss the things. Otherwise, it's just learning. And second major thing, paramount thing for this initiative is it's not only based on data and information. And I don't want to focus on more on data or information that's already available, more than what we can consume. We just need to Google it. But there is a scope of improvement in the knowledge and wisdom, the applied part, and how to do it. So that is the crux of the sustainability. And I guess this is a group, this is a dedicated time where we will try to explore that things. And that's why majority of our discussion would be experiential based, what we have learned through our experiences, and which can be applied, which can be helpful for others as well. Right. So welcome to this day 19. Today is 4th November. So this is back to back 19 weeks that we are connecting. And today's topic is recent updates on sustainability. So I would like to quickly ask you, uh, which thoughts came in your mind when you read this topic or when you join in this topic. So what are thoughts coming to your mind regarding this today's topic? Can you please share, maybe unmute, or you can use chat as well? Can you please share what are your thoughts on this topic? So what you think, what might be discussed in the session? Yes, I'm getting some answers. Okay, new practice. Thank you, Anuj. What about others? Okay, regulations coming in. All right, BRSR reporting. Yes. Okay, great. So generally what happened, even for me also, when I thought about this topic, so it was about maybe governance or maybe reporting. So that's what came in my mind. So whenever I think about this topic, and even that is the paramount perspective that we all have, right? But today's topic will be little bit different than only governance. The reason being, I want to explore today where we are in sustainability movement in a overall context. It's not only about governance. So what is happening currently? So maybe we can call it as uh, current status on sustainability and where it is going in the future and where we would like to drive it further. So that is what we would be discussing today. And for that, I'll just quickly share my second screen, and I hope that is also visible. The slides are changing. The screen is changing, right? You can see on the screen sustainability.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, okay, thank you. Thanks. So as you can see on the screen, there are 4 bullet points, and I would like to take one by one regarding sustainability. So this is about changing perspectives. Whenever we call updates about sustainability, so most of us as a working professionals might be thinking about the governance or reporting or whatnot, BRSR reporting, how to do it, or recent advances in technology. So that is what first thing comes in our mind, right? But if we talk about sustainability as an overall concept, so there are multiple things about it, and I would like to cover that in next 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can discuss on this topic. So first is sustainability as a concept. If we understand, it's majorly came out of environmental conservation, right? So as you can see, during World War II or after World War II, so there were many things that happened which led to the environmental destruction. So maybe use of the pesticides or the toxic materials that were used, then population growth. And that's how in 1960s, there were some of the books written as The Silent Spring. The overall awareness about sustainability uh, grown in that time period. And also what grew during that time is the population, and second, the cities. Even if you just check the number of cities which have population more than 1 million, that is 10 lakhs, right? So I hope I'll just share my entire screen so that you can see it, right? Yeah. So as you can see on the screen, I'm showing what is the current population, world's largest cities by population in the world. So it has been given in 3 different ways, maybe city, urban area, and metropolitan. So we can take any one of this. So maybe just take city proper. Okay. So what is the administrative boundary of the city? So if you can check, there are multiple cities now. I guess it's more than 200 cities which have more than 1 million population. That is more than 10 lakh. And on the screen, you can see some of them. And from India, you can also see Delhi and Mumbai are there in top 20, being Delhi at 16.8 million population, and for Mumbai, it's 12.5 plus. So, uh, what is the point of discussing this is where we are going. Okay. So, I will be sharing 2 very important points today. Okay. So, first is regarding cities. When a city grows and at such a scale as a population more than 10 lakhs, that is 1 million, and currently the population is much more than that. If we take the example of Delhi, we will discuss about Delhi today, because there is a severe population in Delhi as of now today. 16.8 million plus people are living, so it's a highly dense area. For that people of such a magnitude, such a scale, the resources required and the waste generated is huge, and that's how the pollution is also huge in this area. And I would just like to show you today's article, Indian Express article, and if you can check any other news, there is a mention of Delhi pollution, right? And I hope you can see on the screen the AQI is still in severe category as of today. So this is November 4, 7 p.m. as you can see. So this is latest what is happening today. Yeah, so air quality is degrading, right? 470 AQI index is there. PM 2.5 is still higher than healthy limit, 8 times the healthy limit prescribed by World Health Organization. So at such a scale, this air is a toxic, right? So that's not livable at all. And that's how the GRAP, that is Graded Response Action Plan 3, that is third level, that has been activated, I guess, day before yesterday from 2nd of November in Delhi. And you can see that on screen also. So this is a notification from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is 8-point action plan as per stage 3 of GRAP in entire NCR, invoked with immediate effect. So this is posted on 2nd November, 8:12 p.m. by PIB Delhi. And uh, in this post, they have shared, so as per the graded response action plan stage 3, what are the activities that need to be taken care by different by maybe pollution control board, and which are the activities are permitted and which are not permitted to do, right? So strict ban enforce strict ban on construction and demolition activities in the entire NCR except for following categories. So uh, apart from this, everything is banned, right? And there are some other guidelines as well in this post. I'll not read the entire post, just I want to set the context of the discussion. So in this graded response action plan, it is now mandated that, or they are suggesting that you should not travel, let's say, by your private vehicle. You should use maximum whatever is available, public transport or by walk in this way for public as well. So this is the first thing that we need to understand with environmental conservation. So just assume that you are in this city in Delhi, and there is such a huge pollution and such kind of, as you can see on the screen, I'll just put it for a while. Maybe these kind of restrictions are there. So maybe you will have to work from home if the kind of business, the kind of company that where you are working, so they are not allowed to work on these days, right? So in this case, oh, so Praveen is in Delhi today, so that's great. So he might share the real time what is happening over there. But yeah, so in this way, you can imagine the kind of restrictions that is being put on the people, and that is mandatory and even for their good as well, right? So this is one way to understand whenever we are understanding sustainability, what is the future that we want to take for these people, right? So it's not possible whatever the current way that is being there, business as usual or the activities as usual we are doing, so that's not feasible to do in long term, right? So that's this about city. Then let's come back to the forest, which is the far opposite end of the discussion that we are doing, right? We consider forest is, let's say, safe. If city is not safe, then forest must be the safe place, right? But as you can see on the screen, and this is also latest whatever happening now only, okay? So there is forest fire in the Australia, and that it is also at a huge scale. Just a minute. Yeah, as you can see on the screen, and these kind of fires are a regular event in Australia, in forest in Australia, and also in the African forest as well. What are the causes for that? So this topic is also very debatable, but one thing is common, that in order to harvest this kind of resources or to use these resources, these forest fires have been lit by many people, and there is no strong monitoring or control measures that are implemented in these areas. So that is one common thing. And apart from this, I'm sure you might have read news articles regarding forest fire in America or forest fire in Brazilian forest. So that's a common thing every year that is happening. So our question again come back to the sustainability through environmental conservation. How do we do it, right? So this is the current status, whatever happening in cities and in forest as well. So in this context, why it is important is forest is a lung for entire earth, we can say. The oxygen that we all need to breathe, that comes from the forest, and which is very very important for the living. So how to protect it at the same time, and we have to also care for the businesses, that's absolutely there. And that's how I want to come to the second point, that is business and governance. So our question, to understand sustainability, how to enforce the sustainability in proper business. So that's how the came sustainability reporting or the ESG reporting, in that GRI is there, or BRSR as it is compulsory in India for top 1000 companies. How to do it? One of the way, that if we understand it practically, how to do it, one of the ways, let's calculate how much pollution, how much emissions that we are emitting into the environment. That's how comes the accounting part, right? So we are measuring maybe scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions, how much emissions are coming from which source. If we have that, then comes the question, how do we reduce it? And that's how the concern for ESG, that is environmental, social and governance, the governance part come into picture. That is reporting it, the genuine data that is being reported, it is authentic, the entire data, entire process is authentic, the reporting is done in a proper way or not, so need to check that. So in short, sustainability reporting is one of the way how do we ensure sustainability or environmental conservation. That's just one way, keeping in mind that these businesses are also important to, let's say, provide livelihoods for the people. But how to do it, that is a question, and that's how this reporting comes into picture. So we need to understand it in that in that context as well. Now, come back to the third point. So only focusing on these two is not enough. The social movement. So is there any possibility of having a business which is also, apart from earning profit, can do some good for society? And that's how come some organizations as B Corp. Okay, so I'll just quickly share that on the screen so that you'll just get to know what I'm talking. So there is a B Corp certification. Okay, so this talks about you are not only working for profit. So these are the companies, social organizations, we can call it as, but apart from profit, they are working for the social good. Okay. So these kind of initiatives that are coming into picture. So this is just in short about sustainability. So if we just see that, so this is nothing but three pillars of sustainability: environmental, social, and governance. How to implement it. And the fourth part is, which I feel is very important. And recently, I guess in 2015 report, in whatever discussions happen in Paris, that's how we get SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. The 5P concept also came over there. That is people, planet, profit, peace, and partnership. These are the 5Ps on which the entire sustainability is based. In that context, the importance of peace, and when I say peace, so value, cultural and spiritual aspects are also involved into it. So how to take sustainability into practicality? We cannot ignore the sustainability aspect of it. Okay. So I'll just quickly share some of the point of view with spiritual aspect or the cultural aspect, how to implement sustainability. And I guess if we want to take this sustainability into future, whatever is happening right now, if you can just see, and we want to provide a solution. So as a group, if okay, Prakhar, so as you are saying, can you please tell more about B Corp? Okay, so all right. So we'll first discuss more on the B Corp, and then we will move for the cultural aspects as well. Okay, all right. I hope you can see on the screen that is B Corp. So I'll just quickly go to the B Corp certification. So this came before, I guess, this ESG reports been mandatory. So earlier, what they promised is, many of the companies don't know what is their impact on the environment or on the social aspect. So B Corp is a certification. They have some questionnaire, and if you just answer that questionnaire, you will get some score. You will get to know how much impact you have on the environment and on the business. So earlier, this is from USA, and they had a point of view that instead of a business just focusing on profit and keeping environment and society as a additional part to it, but the core part is profit only. Why not have environment and social aspect as a core part, and profit is one of the way to sustain this business for longer time. And that's how this B Corp certification or B Corp assessment came into picture. And I'll just quickly read it. Okay. B Corp certification is a designation that a business is meeting high standards of verified performance, accountability, and transparency on factors from employee benefits and charitable giving to supply chain practices and input materials. In order to achieve certification, a company must demonstrate high social and environmental performance by achieving B impact assessment score of 80 or above and passing our risk review. Multinational corporations must also meet baseline requirement standards. So this is first. Second, make a legal commitment by changing their corporate governance structure to be accountable to all stakeholders, not just shareholders, and achieve benefit corporation status if available in their jurisdiction. Third, exhibit transparency by allowing information about their performance measured against B Lab standards to be publicly available on their B Corp profile on B Lab's websites. So this was the earlier way or earlier method to ensure that a business is sharing their all the environmental impacts, and the governance is all the criteria regarding transparency that is being taken care, right? So you can just check their certification method, and there is one impact assessment as well. Okay, so you just need to register over here. It's a free of cost, and you have to answer some of the questions, and at the end of the assessment you will get score, and on that you will get to know that where you need to improve, and accordingly you can have a proper method or a proper movement into your organization to improve on these aspects if company is motivated to work into this. That has to be laid by the company's top management. Is it okay, Prakhar, if that answers your question? And what I'll do, I'll also put this link in chat so that you can also check meanwhile. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Yes. So coming back, so these three, again, our question remains the same. How to include, how to take care of the sustainability. And when I say sustainability, it's just basic thing, the livable condition for this generation. I'm not talking about next generation also now. I'm only talking about this generation, seeing what is happening in Delhi or metropolitan cities, most of the metro cities. So in that context, if we want to have a livable condition for the people right now, what is the way? So first is environmental conservation. That is the basic things. Food, air that should be available, right? Clean air, water, clean water. Then livelihood opportunities, and that's how business and governance comes into picture. And that business should not infringe on the social, maybe rights of the people. It should not harm society in any way. After consideration of these three, what I came to realize that peace or the value or cultural aspects are very important. You take any example of war, maybe that is Russia or Ukraine war or whatever happening in, let's say, in a Gaza, Palestine, right? So Israel. So in that war context as well, anyway we are not taking any side on that war, but one thing is very clear that war is not a solution, right? So war is always create more problem, and we have been witnessing it from World War I, which uh, and I don't think that any of the cultural or any of the spiritual organizations or sect or any people, faith-based organization we call it as, or UNESCO calls it as faith-based organizations. So all of us want to work for peace, want to work for love, right? It's respect for others. And in order to empower the sustainability movement, that is a livable conditions on the planet. So there are some reports. UNESCO and United Nations is already working on this, how to have faith-based organizations or cultural aspects, spiritual organizations into sustainability. So one of the point that UNESCO's charter in 1945 was the founding statement of the UNESCO. Since war begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed. So it's very important and powerful statement which states that peace also should come from the mind of people, right? And how to teach people these things, that's very important. And I guess this is one of the prominent way through which we can ensure sustainability, right? So I just would like to share a couple of points from this report. I have already kept that ready with me, so I'll just share that. So first is point of religious agreement in environmental ethics. Just a minute. So I guess the file is opening. Just a minute. All right, it is opened over here. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is one report. I'll share my entire screen so that we can discuss it in better. Okay. So this is a report. I'll share the entire report first, and then I'll share this couple of points that I want to share. So this is environment, religion, and culture in the context of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Okay. So this is the thing. Point of religious agreement in environmental ethics. So the natural world has value in itself and does not exist solely to serve human needs. If we just talk about environment, so this is very clear to us, and I guess all religious people are also agreeing to it. There is no debate on these topics. There is significant continuity of being between human and non-human being livings. Even though humans do have a distinctive role, this continuity can be felt and experienced. So I'll not read all this, but couple of important points. That is, there are legitimate and illegitimate uses of nature. It's also agreed. Greed and destructiveness are condemned. Restraint and protection are commended. Human beings are obliged to be aware and responsible in living in harmony with the natural world and should follow the specific practices for this prescribed by their traditions. So this is one point. Second is solutions to environmental problems. So this is also one very interesting view. Okay. Just somehow it is taking more time. Okay. So I'll just open it from here. Yeah. And I guess way back, if we go to 1990s or even in 2000s, so this has been understanding that environmental problems are something that we all need to pay attention to. And this is one of the statement in 2014 by UNDP administrator. I used to think the top environmental problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, and climate change. I thought that with 30 years of good science, we could address those problems, but I was wrong. The top environmental problems are selfishness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with those, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation. And we scientists don't know how to do that. So this is very clear from we have been knowing this from 1960s, 1970s that the pollution is growing, the population is growing, and the livable conditions that are being impacted. So how to achieve sustainability, that has been questioned. It was scientifically proven. Climate change was also hypothesized, and it was, I would say, a clear indication to change the things, but somehow we couldn't do it as of now. But here the questions come that how to address these things, and maybe the role of cultural organizations, even UNESCO is also promoting. So some of the questions on the discussion table are: how can religious and community leaders and faith-based organizations be assisted to better understand the interconnectedness of the world, the relevance of their traditions and worldviews, and the concrete actions they can take to address the issues in hand. So I'll not read all the questions, but I hope you can see the questions on screen. And these questions are really very important if we want to solve the sustainability issue, sustainability problem. The reason being, uh, and when it's pertinent to today's topic in such a way that sustainability, when we talk about what are the updates in sustainability or how do we solve this problem, our focus should be on the solutions. And it's very clear that only scientific research is not enough, because we have it previously from last 3 to 4 decades as well. Then second thing comes as a governance part or the environmental research. So that is also not the solution. Only solution is the behavior of the people that needs to be changed. And one of the prominent way is to use the culture. So culture is nothing but the common understanding of the people, common behavior, which has been guided due to couple of circumstances or some of the context where they live. And culture as a distinctive factor should not be to hate one another, which leads to war, but it is to understand the multiple people have multiple perspectives. So diversity is good. And even nature thrives on diversity. If there is diversity, then only the system is sustainable in environmental or ecosystem point of view. So our concern as a group of sustainability professionals is how do we address this question at a larger canvas, and what are the different solutions that we think that is implementable in this context. So that is what I would like to present for today as a update for sustainability. I know it was a little bit different than what you might have expected related to the governance or BRSR reports. But uh, what I really wanted to emphasize today is whatever happening today in Delhi or in any of the cities. Just last week I was in Bhopal, in near Chunabatti area. So there was a road construction over there, and the air quality was so bad over there. So we couldn't breathe with our bare nose. So the mask was compulsory over there. It was just road construction. So I'm not sure how many how many of us from the cities maybe we can observe such kind of livable conditions are not there. And even in my city there was flyover construction, and at that time there was severe environmental degradation that happened, and many of the people were ill. They are severely ill now because of this kind of construction near their houses. So just to emphasize this point, it is currently now for us these environmental issues or the livable conditions issues, and it's our contribution how we become a part of the solution. So how consciously we arrive at the solution. And yeah, and the last point would be, apart from this four, as discussed: people, planet, profit, peace, and to join all these four, the partnership. There will be multi-stakeholder approach is required. Everyone need to put forth whatever positive thing or whatever value they have into this sustainability, and try to be a part of the solution. So I guess that's how sustainability can be viewed in today's context, and it's upon us how we would like to take this forward. So I would like to open this session for discussion now. So maybe I would just like to know from you all, where do you think sustainability would be in next, let's say, 10 years as a as a concept, apart from just governance issues. The reason being I'm asking this question, I'll just clarify the question first. If you see what is happening in Delhi, let's say graded action plan, right? So it might be a possibility that if there is a situation like a COVID, or there is a situation like there is huge pollution in some part of the country, then all the businesses might need to shut down, as happened in COVID. We all have seen that. And earlier, even if I would have talked it in 2018 or 2019, so you might have said that it's not possible. All the organizations cannot be shut down uh, in any city itself, right? But we have seen it in 2020, 2021. We have seen the companies being shut down for such a long duration, which was unimaginable for all of us. So I just would like to ask the question, maybe going forward in next 15 or 20 years, if such kind of situation happens, so what do you perceive the term as sustainability, and what kind of solutions that we all need to come up with? Because this is the possibility, this can happen. So what are your views on this?
Uh, Actually, we were thinking like in case of like in Delhi, the root cause is I think stubble burning. The farmers which are there doing. So we need to find some technique for that. This kind of pollution does not happen because it has been happening every year. We listen around this period, like October, November, before Diwali. This crop rotation they'll be doing, and before that they'll be just burning all the stubble. So again, some work like what in the world what they are doing globally, what is the practice? How these farmers are tackling this situation? Because in India, in that region, it is prevalent that they will be burning this stubble and all. So,
Just to counter your point, just for a discussion sake, I guess you might have also read the report, or in news, that there are many new technologies are coming, how to not to burn the stubble, but instead of that, there are some new technologies are coming which will help the farmers as well and reduce the pollution. Yes,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So my point of view is, okay, so technology is already available over there, right? So might be we don't need new technology, but more awareness, and maybe government or as a society as a whole, we are failed here to understand the problem in its entirety. So what exactly is the problem, and how to involve all the people into this?
But that action plan has to be there, no? Because this is not just first year it is happening. It has been
Mhm,
happening for since past 10 years. We are listening that this is
mhm.
happening.
Right.
So again, some
So,
action plan they would have made, and then some
so
this
right. So
group is
your
there. Na?
Yeah, so your point of view is that graded action plan, so whatever the pollution board has created for Delhi, so that is incomplete, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because some activist group should be there who should be making people aware about this situation, and they have to work on field before, because this will happen every year. Before this crop rotation happens, this is happening every year. So some activist groups they should get involved, aware people, and they should like funding is there because many people are there who are giving funding for these activities because everybody in Delhi is facing that problem.
Right,
So again, this the technology need to reach the people.
right.
In that
And
direction,
yeah,
some work is
absolutely, I agree with you at this point. Awareness is one of the major issue.
there.
Just I would like to share, just 2 months back, I was discussing the sustainability. One of the senior person who is director, actually, he knows I work in sustainability, so he was asking me that I don't know what is sustainability is, what is climate change is. I don't feel it. I go in AC car, so my children also go in AC car, so they have AC in car, they have AC in home, so we don't know what the issue is. So that is a kind of awareness people are having. So even people who are in the level of director for some of the organizations. So I guess awareness is one of the key concerns, one of the way of solution that we need to have. On a serious note,
It's like first you need to acknowledge the problem, then
yeah,
only you can solve. So
yeah,
that acknowledgement needs to be there. Yeah, there is some problem.
yes, and yes. So some interesting comments are also coming. So one of the article that is being shared by Ajit ji is regarding. I'll just share that on screen. Okay, this is interesting for the discussion sake. So this is the article. we are playing firecracker as stubborn burning turns air toxic. So this is a popular debate, and we will take it in next week. So whether to burn firecrackers in Diwali or not. So I understand this is a big issue for all of us, and I'll invite some of experts into Indian Vedic system as well. So they're expert in Indian traditions, and that's how we will try to understand the firecrackers and all. But yeah, this is an interesting perspective that people are not aware. First thing, and whatever action plan that we have as a government, so maybe that is not working, at least we can say that, right? And as Prakhar is sharing, so there is many technologies that are being there, right? So despite a lot of effort, the value creation of stubble has not been achieved. So Prakhar, would you like to share some more points, more in this? So what you are saying is there is technology, but it's not financially sustainable, maybe, right? The value creation is not there. Okay, all right. Means currently these activities have to be funded maybe by government or maybe by any other organizations. That's the way. Yes. So Anuj is sharing awareness is there in the public, but what I think we lack in the acceptance. Yes. Agreed, agreed. Unless and until we accept there is a problem, there is no solution to the problem, right? And that's how it happened for climate change. Even if we go back to 4 5 years back, some of the so-called experts from USA, America, they were denying climate change. Even just latest 2 3 4 5 years. So just now, I guess everyone has the unanimous opinion that climate change is now, it's real. But yeah, this is the way. If that is for such a educated nation as USA, then definitely we need to do a lot more work just because of literacy. I'm not talking about any other criteria over here, just the literacy rate that I'm comparing. Yes. Any other point of view, please do share.
Again, this regarding sustainability, the first slide which you have shown, and there you have shown this B Corp.
Mhm.
So, regarding B Corp, also there is one question. This is a US based company, I think, social service company.
Yes, right.
How many
Agree.
other companies are there? Is there any kind of competition, or that is just some one company which is there?
No, there are many companies. There should be many companies. That is what I think. So I'll also need to check on this
Ah,
point.
so
So how
we can
many
have some
options are
data
there?
on that, because
Yeah,
why to choose that company only, or are there any other company? And how many uh, this how many US companies have taken that certification like that?
Mhm.
Whether it is
Right.
valid or not,
Yeah, that database we will get. We'll get that database.
because
But if you ask the question of their credibility and their governance, so in
right,
short,
right, definitely,
so that is the
definitely.
big question. We need to check.
Because again,
Yeah.
the assurance part is there in this PRSR, where
Right.
from I think 25 26, everybody is, even the stakeholder needs to have that assurance, like
Right.
that is mandatory.
Right.
So again, once a company is going to take assurance from another company, maybe big names are there, McKinsey, then the BCG. So what is the credibility of those kind of assurances? That is one question. Then other
Right.
Indian companies also will emerge. BIS is there, and other companies, Indian companies are there. So
Right.
again, that has to be thought, that first the training part, and then the credibility of these assurers. Let's say
Right.
how they're doing it.
So there should not be brastachar in that, right?
And definitely, that is the one thing. Na?
Currently, there is Vigilance Week, na, in government.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
That will be one week is activities. Again, one more thing is there, ABMS, anti-bribery management system.
all right.
So
So that is a part of, I guess, what we can say, governance, right? Or
yeah,
the
It comes
policies.
under governance. Comes under
yeah.
governance.
So this ABMS is also one of the this certification is there, ABMS
Mhm.
certification. So then companies need to change their procedures, include more transparency into their system, and then get certified by auditors, external auditors. So that is also one of the good things which is happening.
Yeah. And I was always curious about whistleblower policy. So anybody would like to share more on that, please?
Again, that is a part of, may I, Ajit here.
Yes, please.
So again, that comes under governance only. So under that, organizations are required to have a whistleblower policy established, documented, and communicated. Okay. So anybody, any interested party, it can be employee, contract employee, supplier, visitor, customer, anybody. If he sees something going wrong, he can report it to the relevant authority of the management. So sometimes it can be through portal, through a dedicated phone number, or sometimes some other mechanism in hard form is maintained at the company level. So any issues reported through this whistleblower policy is directly is analyzed, accepted, analyzed, and it goes to the top management level, and if that is investigated, and if they find something actionable, so actions are taken. So then in that case there are zero tolerance policy also. So whosoever is the culprit, irrespective of his position, if he is found guilty, so he is punished. So what can be reported under whistleblower policy? Anything, any kind of behavior. It can be even if somebody is asking for favor, bribe, or somebody is harassing someone, doing any kind of wrong, so it can be reported. Any violation of policy procedures within the company or somebody's favor can also be reported. So then those are acted upon.
And do we have any example as such where we have seen that whistleblower policy has worked out for the environment or for the laws and regulations?
Uh, example,
Why I'm asking is the reason I'll tell you. Because many of the organizations, they have this whistleblower policy, and I don't know whether all the people, maybe contract employees or all the people who are working actually on the field, they knows about it or not, and
Now people
what
people
is the
know about it.
authenticity of that?
The thing is, it is a bit confidential. So suppose I am a whistleblower. So even if somebody knows that I have given that information, but they will always keep it confidential. That is also part of the policy.
Mhm.
So that is one thing, because other kind of policies are also there, like women harassment and all. Many policies are there, and mostly all these policies are confidential. Only people who are in personal department or HR department, say, or the people who are on very high position, top position, they'll be aware of those things. Committees are made who scrutinize those things, and they give a decision, but everything is confidential, and it need not to be told also. Ethically also it is not right if somebody
Right.
tells.
And just I guess recently Tata's one of the issue came, right? So it was regarding hiring. I'm not sure whether you are aware about it.
It is like see, any policy when it is made, there are two things in that, whether it is an administrative issue or it is a legal issue. So till the time it is an administrative issue, it will be under company. So management will be making the decision on those issues. Once it becomes legal issue, some crime has been committed, it will go to court. So there are
Right.
two kinds of conciliation mechanisms should be can be there, where counseling is there, and like that. Otherwise, if it is a legal issue, then it will go to court and the matter will be subjudice. So whatever decision made by the court, that will happen.
Right.
So long procedures, short procedures, many procedures are there.
Yeah. Yes. And one question is asked by Anuj actually. So it was, I guess, it was regarding the earlier discussion that we had, right? So is third party involved in this? So Anuj, can you please confirm regarding which? It was regarding whistleblower policy? Oh, right. So Anuj is asking whether any third party is involved in whistleblower.
See, for third party, normally they are not involved. Only there's a committee. Suppose as a whistleblower, you'll raise a complaint. Suppose you are raising a complaint about your superior, like about your boss, maybe your reporting officer, to head of that or head of that shop or something like that. So that party can never, about whom you are complaining, that can never be a part of the team. A separate team is made, a separate team of people. There are people like already some standing committees, we call it standing committees. So standing committees are there who will be examining all those concerns about this whistleblower, what kind of complaint has been done, in which section it need to be dealt. So those kind of standing committees.
It might be similar with POSH, right? So
Right.
similar.
All standing committees are
Yeah.
there. These companies need to make their standing committees.
Yeah, that's great. And regarding our today's discussion, it was about the policy and where the action plan is missing. So I just would like to add my observation regarding it. So I guess we can, as you rightly said, the policy is not enough. At least we can see that it's not being implemented and the results are not getting. So maybe can we include, let's say, farmers into this policy somehow, or the students from all these schools? So maybe through them we can implement this solution. So this just one point to explore. So I'm not sure whether it will work or not, but how best we can implement this solution. So that is the open question for all of us, I guess.
I think this topic of sustainability in SDG that has already been introduced in syllabus at junior school level also, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to awareness, school going children are well aware.
Mhm.
Now the need for education, increasing awareness is for adults only. Adults, I believe. Okay.
All right.
What governments can do, we see now there is pressure on sustainable reporting, taking initiative on OEMs, corporate top 1000, and they are under sustainable procurement or as a part of requirement. They are forcing their tier 1 tier 2 supplier to take initiative towards sustainability. Now there is need to there is need where society should also initiate some actions in this. So first step can be creating awareness. Now who will create awareness? Corporates, even their all employees are not fully aware about this sustainability requirement.
Right.
So if you remember and know, so in India there have been lakhs of financial frauds. So because of that, SEBI took initiative and they force all these asset management companies, mutual fund industries, to shell out 2% of their profit and expend it on creating investor awareness.
Right.
There are many entities who have been conducting this training program, and these expenses are borne by various financial institutions as company.
Right.
So similarly, such kind of initiative should be initiated, one for sustainability, and there are many issues. Environmental protection, road safety is also a big issue in India.
Right.
So those kind of trainings are required to be initiated. But government itself cannot do it because they don't comply with their own requirement. You see always fire breaking out in Mantralaya and government offices. All road conditions are poor that people are falling prey and dying on the road because of inaction from the government authorities. So government cannot do themselves. However, if they get it done through corporates, so that can become effective.
Yeah, that's a really wonderful solution. So maybe what I took from your suggestion is, as CSR 2% of the net profit that is mandated for all the corporates. So maybe it's a time for government to again bifurcate and mandate some part of that 2% should be allocated for the awareness, or maybe add
2%,
on to that.
2% of 2% will also do.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So this was great suggestion and great discussion. Yes, Monica, you would like to share something, please?
Yeah, also would like to add in that, like, along with corporates, like the societies and there are culture clubs and so many things. So if they initiate for their own apartments or township like that, so the builders or who are the owners of the society or the township, so they can also initiate for the residential areas and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. But to do that, we need to make sure that they are aware about this and they are also motivated enough to, let's say, give their time first, and second is if there is any requirement of small fund or money for that, right?
Exactly. Like in societies, there are like during festival times, there are some celebrations happens, they display posters. Some same way they can do that, and during the gatherings and everything, like they can share aware the people on this topic.
All right, absolutely. That is also one way to implement it. Yes, wonderful. Last 1 minute, if you'd like to share anything, please.
Our villages are much more sustainable than our cities.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Anytime.
so again, the people who are living in cities and who are corporate basically or educated, they need to work for the society, and some this kind of activities should be carried out regularly. If you see bigger corporates, they are already doing lots of advertisements. If somebody is coming, some visitors are coming, they will be putting up hoardings and everything. But related to this ESG or CSR activities that they are doing, much more awareness need to be done, because in villages, it is whole life is sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That effort need to be done. And
So,
we are the people. Maybe somehow we'll try to educate more people and try to involve them.
yeah, absolutely. So I guess I had told this in previous session also. There is one small town actually where students from rural background come to learn. So I conducted one session on sustainability for them, design for sustainability. There were 200 plus students, so we took it in auditorium. So I was just discussing, so what is the way how we can make it sustainable, and I really struggled to tell them how they can improve on them because actually they are sustainable. It's we people who live in cities or in bigger maybe areas, so that's the problem. So how to tell them what you should do more. So actually they are sustainable, so that's really one thing that hit me so hard. It's we need to change. But yes, so at the same time, my point of view is we need to also give them the confidence that you should not think that sustainability is something alien thing or it's something very fashionable or it is something West or English speaking people are leading. It's not like that. You are already living a sustainable life and you should talk about it. Just do these things. Means whatever you're doing, that's good. But have the awareness that whatever you are doing, so that's the best thing that can be done, and appreciate it so that they can preserve it.
Oh,
Yes.
like to share one like experience. Yeah,
Yes.
villages are very sustainable, but during Corona time, I was in my village only.
Mhm.
So I experienced that they don't know they are sustainable.
Yeah.
They're actually they don't know they are sustainable. What is sustainability? So whenever I used to see if anybody is eating some chips or and throwing the wrapper in the green land, so I need to tell them ki ha you have to maintain this by yourself only. Don't throw like that. So they were like हाँ ये तुम लोग का मुंबई के लोगों का ऐसा ही है. Don't teach us that and this and that. So that happens. They don't know they're already living in sustainability only.
Yes.
Just thing is they need to maintain, and we have to start.
Yeah. They need to maintain. And currently, what is happening, with the films or with the kind of atmosphere, materialistic things that we all aspire. So there is also shift in values in rural areas as well. So again, it comes to cultural aspects and understanding sustainability and what is worth pursuing. So maybe understanding what is a goal in life for them. So it's much a deeper topic. Maybe we can take it some time later. Yeah. Yes, it was a great discussion with you all. Thank you so much for your valuable time. And I also learned many things while this discussion. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks.